So I'm William Smith with Trinity Yachts. We have two shipyards, one in Gulfport, Mississippi, and our original yard in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're building super yachts in the, right now it's 42 meters up to 74 meters. But the average size boat we're building, we have 19 vessels under contract in construction with an average size of about 56 meters right now. So the history of Trinity actually goes back to World War II. The New Orleans yard was started in 1941 by Andrew Higgins as a result of the Pearl Harbor invasion, and that shipyard, the Higgins shipyard, there was 3 shipyards. This was the only shipyard on the water. The other 2 were inland. They built over 20,000 vessels during World War II. And the most famous boats were the PT boats and the Higgins landing craft, or the Higgins boat. So the yard has had a history of adapting to market changes. They went from building vessels in World War II to helping to open up the offshore oil and gas industry by building the first offshore oil rigs. And the tugs that went along with that, barges, the Staten Island ferry boats, the big orange ferry boats you see in New York City, those were built at that yard, 310 feet long. Patrol boats, crew boats, tugboats, just a wide variety of things. Probably the most famous boats they've built recently, military boats, would be the Navy Special Operations Command Mark V's. Those appear in the History and Discovery Channel every now and then, 82 feet, 50 knots, very interesting boats. So the Trinity Yachts was a division of Trinity Marine Group, which owned Halter Marine. And in 2000, John Dane, Felix Abates, and myself, we decided to take it private. So we acquired the yacht in 2000 and then put its focus solely on yachts, not on military craft and commercial craft and everything else. But we decided the intent was to focus solely on yachts. So we were doing very well. We had built the yard up to about 550 employees. It took a Katrina hit in August of 2005. Everybody pretty much knows Katrina flooded 80% of the city of New Orleans. The shipyard itself was outside of the levee system, although it's in the middle of the city. It's 38 acres along the waterfront that's outside the levee system. So the water came up and went down. So the shipyard was intact, but there was no electricity, and more importantly, 80% of our workers had no place to live. So we found another yard that we knew of that was for sale. It was a yard that we used to run as part of Halter Marine, and that was the Halter Gulfport shipyard. That shipyard had been closed for 2 years, so it was available immediately. So within a week of Katrina, we had reached an agreement to acquire that yard. And then we set about finding housing for our workers. So we bought 104 mobile homes. These were 2- and 3-bedroom mobile homes, and at one point we were housing 400 people living on the shipyard. And but as it turns out, it was the right thing to do, obviously. But more importantly, we had 11 contracts at the time of Katrina. By bringing an established workforce to the new yard in Gulfport, we did not have as much learning curve, so they could train the new workers pretty quickly, and we lost some efficiency, but we didn't lose any quality, which is the concern of our clients. So 11 months after Katrina, the Mississippi yard is filling up quite rapidly with jobs. 11 months after Katrina, in July of 2006, we were able to reopen the New Orleans yard. So now 150 workers transfer back to the New Orleans yard. So now we had 2 yards working, and as we speak today, we're a little over 1,000 employees. We have 7 vessels under construction at the New Orleans facility, and the rest of the vessels are under construction in the Gulfport yard. The original intent was to have the New Orleans yard as a repair facility because we didn't feel we would ever fill up the Gulfport yard with work, which surprisingly we did. So within 3 years of Hurricane Katrina, we had basically doubled the size of the company. That was not by design, it was by reacting to some pretty negative situations.